Hey everybody, it's a Wager Wednesday. We've made it. I have to change the studio up because I'm supposed to have it be green because Trey won yesterday and that's what he wanted, but I didn't do that. So Emily, like clockwork, first again. I'm a little behind, so I'm still getting things set up. I apologize, but life can be that way sometimes. So let's get the lighting right. That's important. We got to get the lighting right. The mood. I was adding some things to the show. We'll see if you end up liking them or not. I think we're supposed to go kind of a key lime pie. This seems like a key lime pie, right? I feel like that's a key lime pie. And then I need to obviously get everybody's scores up as well. Because that is equally as important. Because I got to track everything today. Remember, I am the one man on the job today. All right, so I think we're good. Welcome everybody. Robert is here. Danny is here. Robert, I've got a question on the docket for you. I added one. Well, Caitlin added one that we think is really gonna be your wheelhouse. So hopefully you're gonna get it. That's our goal here, is that we wanted to get something that hopefully you'd be able to get. So let's run over things while we are going. For some reason, it's not showing me all of the people that are coming in. That's weird. Let's see if I close my chat and restart it. All right, so Emily got first. I'll make sure to get Emily her point before I do this, because I don't want to forget that, and then I'll have no record of it. Hey, Shaggy, welcome. Glad you can join us. Let's see if I restart my restream chat, if it'll show me all the peoples. I like seeing how many people are coming in. I feel like it's a good thing. Over here, I can see it on the restream stuff. Oh, my restream chat isn't opening. Why is that? Restream chat. Come on, restream chat. We need you. It's important. All right, that's better. Okay, now we're seeing numbers. Good, 11 people. So let's go over some of the rules that we're having today. You can get a point by being the first one to shout first in the chat, like Emily did today, as soon as we go live. Way to do that is you're going to want to follow or subscribe to the show and make sure that your notifications are on so that you'll know that the show's going live, right? We do this every night right around 7 o'clock, usually a little earlier, sometimes a little late. Steam's here as well. Good. Glad to see everyone joining in. And the other ways you can get points, answering a question correctly in the time allotted for that question. If you're the first person to answer a question correct, you get a bonus points. You get 2 points for that particular round. You can throw a Karen. You just type Karen into the chat during that same time. That's saying you think no one else will get the answer correct. And if no one else does, you get a point. But it's a gamble, and if somebody else does get it correct, then you lose a point. So be careful with those. Better later in the week, perhaps. Last but not least, you can get a point for sharing. I saw Emily already did that, and I'm going to go do that now. It's up on Facebook. You do have to share on Facebook. I want to give you guys a little bit of a warning on things, which is that you will need to make sure that you share it publicly, and each share will have to be unique. Robert has also shared. Thank you, Robert. So I'm going to go in here as me, and I'm going to go and hit share now public. And you'll see, look, little alert comes up right there. That's pretty cool. So we'll see that you've shared. If you see it pop up down there, if you see that right there, you're going to get a point at the end of the show. We're going to wrap that into your overall points, okay? Rules on that are real simple. If you share to your profile over and over and over again, we had some people doing that. We've kiboshed on that. It has to be a different group or a different person on their profile or on your own profile. Each of those, so if you shared to 3 different groups, you'd get 3 different points. If you shared on your profile, you'd get a point. If you shared on your mom's profile, you'd get a point. But if you share on any of those more than once, you don't get an extra point for that. So those are things to keep in mind. Also, if you're sharing with an individual, you'll have to either do it on their profile, or you'll need to do, you can't do it through a message. It won't show up. So you'll need to just tag them in the chat is the best way to do that. Is you'll say, you'll just go into the chat and you'll say @ and then whomever it is that you want to make them aware of the show. Just make sure I see it. I've got a lot of things going on today, so there's always a chance that I will miss that, and I want to get that in real time. So yeah, those are the ways. There is one special way to get a point today, and that is that it's Wager Wednesday. We're going to have one last question at the end of the show. 10 questions, one bonus question. For the bonus question, we're going to give you the category, and you're going to get the opportunity to wager as many points as you have earned this week. For the entire week, right? Not even just today, but for the entire week. If you get the answer correct, we'll give you that many points that you've wagered. If you miss the answer though, we take away that many points. So if you had 10 points, you could wager 10 points and double your score to 20 points with one question. Or if you get it wrong, you could be back down to 0. Can't go into the negatives, unfortunately, so you have to only be able to bet what you've earned this week. So I think there's no questions, and I think we can move forward. I get to show you my sexy transition that I've created now. So we're going to move over to question number 1. All right. Question number 1. What is the number 1 food export of Hawaii? All right, so you'll get answers into the chat. I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock, and let's have everybody do their answering. Oh, sorry about that. I was trying to fix some things, but I'm going to have to do that at a different time. All right, so what is the number 1 food of export of Hawaii? That's what we're looking for. All right, so as people are answering in, it's fancy, isn't it? Yes, pineapples. Oh, good guess. Spam, I would say, Danny, is more of an import. That's going to be their biggest import, if anything. So you'll definitely, yeah, I would say that that's not an export. Bananas, that's a good guess as well. There's a trainer on Peloton that says sexy transition all the time. Oh, all right. Pre-guess, my face. Oh, well, thank you. Maybe spam, pineapples. Yep. Time is up here. So now we're going to go over to the chat and see what people had to say. Lots of pineapples. That's the top one. Pineapples. Okay. So we've also got bananas and we've got spam. As I said, I think spam, Steam also went with that. And I feel like that's going to be more of an import. That's what I really feel like is the case. So, all right. Let's go, and time's up. So here you go. This would have been an example. Some people always ask, like, how do Karens work? And this would have actually been a really good example of something to throw a Karen on because no one got it right. Yeah, the number 1 food export of Hawaii is actually cold water shrimp. Cold water shrimp. That's from the waters of Hawaii. That is what they export the most. I would assume per unit because they're smaller than pineapples. Maybe. I don't know. Caitlin makes the question, so I don't know if it's per unit or by price, by total like cost. Maybe both. I would think shrimp are pretty expensive compared to pineapples, and they're smaller. So that'd be good. Christina's here. Hey, Christina. Welcome. All right. So nobody got a point on question number 1. Are things getting too difficult on a Wednesday? Too difficult on a Wednesday? All right. Hopefully this will be one that people can jump in on and get. Let's go to question number 2. In pool, how many balls are used in the game of 8-ball? How many balls are used in a game of 8 balls? 60 seconds on the clock. It is by unit. Okay, that's good to know. I feel like if you took, I don't know. Yeah, I guess that would be very tricky. I didn't put the closed captioning on. I don't know why it's there. I see it on Facebook. but I have no idea why it's there. I didn't put it there. I didn't change anything. So that's not like a part of my thing. That's a part of Facebook's thing. All right, so let's see. We've got good guesses. Luckily, everybody's going with numbers, which is very cool, right? Because if you had gone with a non-number, I feel like you'd be wrong right off the bat. If you just said octopus or something. Looks like we've got a lot of different things. We've got 9, 15. Those are the two big ones right now. We've got a 16. All right, so those are all of the answers. I'm going to go to chat here because time is up. And we'll wait for Facebook to catch up. But it looks like the big answers right now are 9 and 15. 9 and 15. There's two schools of thought on this, primarily. And I think the schools of thought are people who have played 8-ball and people who have not played 8-ball. That's my guess. That's what I do like is that people thought about it enough to also try to bring in the cue ball, which was good. All right, so time's up on Facebook as well. So here's the interesting thing. Very few people got this correct. Very few people got it correct. Because you would say 9, right? Because it's 8-ball plus the cue ball, right? Makes perfect sense. 8 regular balls and then a cue ball. The thing is, when you play 8-ball, you don't remove any of the actual balls, right? You actually use all the balls that you would normally use for any other game. You just try to get the 8-ball in last, right? And so some people were very smart about this and said 15, which is brilliant. Great guess. Except there are 15 balls and then a cue ball, right? So when we said how many balls are used in the game of 8-ball, the answer is 16 balls, right? Because you have to have the cue ball to hit all of the other balls, and there are 15 of those. So Emily gets 2 points, but nobody else, I think, got it. Everybody else went with either 15 or 9. Really interesting to see that all the 9 people thought about the extra ball. I'm assuming, right, thinking that it was 8 balls and then a cue ball, and then the people who thought about it being all of the balls mainly forgot about the cue ball. So there you go. That would be 9-ball would be 10 then. Yeah, I mean it would be, right? If you're going to play any game in billiards, right, or in pool, I should say, then it's always going to be the number of balls that you have racked up, and the cue ball. It's always going to be one more. How many times can we say balls on the show is the main question that we're asking here. Because it's going to be a lot. There's a lot of balls on this show today. A huge amount of balls. So Emily, with the commanding lead, she got the 1 point to start off the entire night and 2 points there. 3 points for Emily. No one else has come up yet and gotten a point. Danny says, are you sure these are Wednesday questions? I felt like that wasn't that hard of a question. The first one, harder question, I will admit, because the easy answer seemed like it would have been bananas or pineapples or something, macadamia nuts or coffee, all of the things that you think of when it comes to Hawaii. So that was a little tricky. This one I thought really wasn't that bad. So let's move on to question number 3. Who wrote the book Lady Chatterley's Lover? Lady Chatterley's Lover. 60 seconds on the clock. I like that we've moved Danny and Shaggy over to Twitch. That's pretty great. This actually helps me out. So on Twitch, you actually have to have 50 followers, right? And you have to have an average of 5 people watching in order to become an affiliate, to be able to make money on it. Now, I'm not really worried about becoming an affiliate, but the fact that some of you are moving over to Twitch actually makes my numbers better, which is pretty awesome. So I appreciate that. That's helpful, honestly. So feel free to go over there. It's a faster show over there, right? But in addition to that, it is actually a bonus for me. I think for YouTube, in order to be able to monetize that, I have to have like 1,000 followers. 1,000, I believe. Keith added. I've added me as a follower. Oh, okay. Yeah, please add yourself as a follower. That would be great. All right, so time's up. Let's go to the chat, and we'll watch for Facebook to catch up. Good answers here. We've got Stephen King, definitely somebody who writes books, so that's a good answer, right? D.H. Lawrence, another author. Steam goes with her lover. Give him a style point for that. Don't believe that was the answer, but Steam has run off already. He is leaving. All right, see you later, Steam. Have fun tonight. Don't get in too much trouble. And we'll move over here and see what our answers are. It doesn't look like we got any additional answers. It looks like those two, Stephen King, D.H. Lawrence, and it wasn't Stephen King. Let's just say that off the bat. It definitely wasn't Stephen King, but it was D.H. Lawrence. It was D.H. Lawrence. So Danny got it first, 2 points for her, and then Melissa and Emily also getting points. Remember, keep track of your points today. I'm the only one running this today, so I definitely need your help making sure everything is on the up and up. We're very quiet when it comes to people. Looks like we've got 11 viewers today. Not a lot of people answering. So maybe that's better for me because not as many people watching means I don't have to like actually manage as much. But would love to have more people. So don't forget, you can get a point for sharing the show, as several of you already have done. And hopefully we will see more people here shortly. So we're moving on to question number 4, I believe. Question number 4. What was the first drug created by recombinant DNA technology? This seems difficult. This does seem like a hard one. Unless you know what recombinant DNA technology is. If you know that, then it probably is very easy, right? Because it's a very popular drug. So 60 seconds on the clock. There is that it's very common, but how is it first made, right? That we don't usually know that when it comes to different types of medicines, right? So this is the first drug. Well, Shaggy, DNA splicing is not a drug. That is a technique. So what was the first drug created? So try again. It has to be a drug. Robert says balls. Balls were the first thing that were made. Also not a drug, I don't think, for most. I feel like that's soft hairy balls. Well, that's a drug, obviously. I don't know where you're getting these answers from, but I like them. Robert, a style point for you. Jenny went with penicillin. We've got 10 seconds left on the clock, so make sure to get your answers in. We want to get you the points you deserve. 3, 2, 1. Let's go to the chat and take a look at what people have said. We kind of talked about this already, what people went with. I will say that we're waiting for Facebook to catch up, but somebody did get it correct. And it looks like the people that would need to have gotten it correct is somebody who said penicillin or insulin, one of the two. So that's tricky. It could be one of either one. We do have a couple other insulins that just came in. So Facebook is all caught up. And the answer, let me make sure I've got everybody accounted for here. I feel like we're screwing ourselves a little because I keep changing people's names in the spreadsheet because I know Karen's real name, and so I put it as Karen. But I should say Babusina. Is that right? Babusina? So the correct answer is insulin. That is correct. Danny got the 2 points for that one, bringing her up to a tie with Emily, both with 4 points. Penicillin, unfortunately, not correct. That was cultured, right? They had to culture that. But insulin, I believe they started making that. They had to use DNA to get that going. I don't know the actual process that went into it. I know I think they use like like pigs now for insulin, right? Is that a thing? I feel like that you can get pig insulin and it works or something. It's very strange. I don't know a lot about it. I'm not sure how happy I would be having to put pig insulin in my body. So I should probably be careful what I eat. Let's. All right, so that's it. Let's move on. We're going very quick. This is good. We're going to question number 5. Question number 5 is, what country is closest to the point of 0 latitude and 0 longitude? Caitlin says I'm doing great. That's like my mom saying I'm handsome. So what is the country that is closest? 60 seconds on the clock. Get your answers in. So I would think, yeah, let's see. We'd have to first wonder, is 0 latitude and 0 longitude, is that at the top of the globe or the bottom of the globe? Or is it in the middle? Right? Where would that be where it is 0? Huh. So we've got to figure that out first, right? Which country would be closest to both zeros? Because if it's at the top, then it's like Russia, maybe, right? Or Greenland or Canada. If it's at the bottom, it's like Australia, maybe, something like that. In the middle, just anything in the middle. There's so many countries in the middle that it would be very difficult, I feel like. But, and then we have to figure out like, so that's latitude, but longitude, you got to get a 0 as well. So you have to know where that is. Time is up, so we're going to go to the chat and see what people have seen. A bunch of people are saying Karen. A lot of Karens. Throwing Karens are people. Let's wait for Facebook to catch up. We've got a Kenya. We've got India. We've got New Guinea. These are good answers. It does feel like it would be somewhere in like Africa, right? Because it has to follow the Greenwich mean line, right? That would be the 0 for the longitude. And then on the latitude, it would have to be the equator. I mean, I talked about all the other stuff just to throw you off a little bit, right? The equator, right? That's 0, and then it gets bigger south and north on either side. And then the longitude is going to be Greenwich mean, right? It's the prime meridian, and then everything goes out to that. And then on the back end, you've got the international date line, right? So yeah, it feels like something kind of Africa, probably like west coast of Africa. So let's take a look. First of all, we have a bunch of people who said Karen. So we have to look at the answer, looking at what people guessed. The guesses are Kenya, India. India, I think, is too far, is going to be too far east for this. Kenya, maybe. New Guinea, perhaps. Ghana. All right, so we've got, of those answers, one of them is correct. Yes, so unfortunately, I'm going to have to go down the list. Danny is going to lose a point, so 3 points for Danny. Jenny is losing a point. Going into the negative there. That's all right. You can make it back. It was not a bad thing to guess a Karen on. That was a tough one. That was definitely a difficult one. So 3 different people losing points on that. One person is gaining 2 points. Anyone wondering who that person is? Anyone? Any guesses? The answer is Karen. Yeah, the answer is Ghana. Karen actually got it correct, which I'm guessing is what you all were guessing, really. When you said Karen, you were saying that Karen was going to get it correct, right? You weren't actually throwing Karens. So points for all of you. Welcome, Trey. Glad you could be here. I went with this kind of pale green that reminded me of the key lime pie that you asked for winning for yesterday. Is there any meaning behind the key lime pie, or is it just something that you love? Is it something you enjoy eating that is also a kind of a color? Is it something that is it something that like your grandmother made for you? Is there any connection there? I'm curious. All right, we're halfway through, so I'm going to go over the points with everybody. So let's Let's sort the sheet. by lowest to highest. Jenny's got a -1. Melissa, you've got 2. Danny's got 3. Emily's got 3. And Karen's got 3. A three-way tie at the top. Not a lot of points have been given out. Wednesday, a little more difficult this week, perhaps, than it has been in the past. Yeah, random African country guess for the win. Well done. Sometimes luck works out in your favor. There's only like a handful of like African countries I could randomly guess. Ghana was one of those. Let's see. Kenya was another one. New Guinea, I might have thrown out there. I would have not gone like Egypt because I felt like that was too far to the east. So Morocco, maybe something like that, might have been in my. I could have also gone with maybe like Ivory Coast. I think is in there, right? I believe, unless they've changed their name. I feel like maybe they changed their name. Equatorial Guinea, yeah, Equatorial Guinea. That could have been it. Yeah. At least you would have had one right. You would think, right? You would at least think, I know I've got the equator bit. I just don't know about the prime meridian bit. All right, so let's move on to question number 6. By the way, Trey has not seen the new transition, so he gets to react to that. Here's question number 6. In computers, what do the letters in BIOS stand for? 60 seconds on the clock. Robert, if you don't get this, my lord, I'm not going to be able to recommend you to folks for IT consulting if you can't tell me what the letters of BIOS stand for. What do the letters for BIOS stand for? This isn't easy if you're not around computers. I will give you that, right? About 30 seconds left to get your answers in. And then, let's see, we've got basic input-output system. All right, interesting. That feels like very straightforward, right? I don't know. It seems like it should be more technical in some way, but basic input operating system. Now that makes sense. So an operating system, I've heard that before when it comes to computers. Operating systems are the things that you put on the on the computer to be able to like use them, right? So, all right, time's up. Let's go to the chat. We'll wait for Facebook to catch up. A lot of people saying basic input-output system. Your phone auto-corrected. Oh, no. That is a shame. It's not recursive like GNU. It isn't. No. It isn't BIOS input-output system. Is that what you're saying? Input-output system. Okay. Well, let's see. Facebook has caught up. There we go. So a lot of people got this. I'm going to have to go down the list and make sure everybody gets their points. But the answer is basic input-output system. So I will leave it up to all of the groundlings, the folks that are out there that are watching. Emily answered with a basic input operating system. But then said that the phone auto-corrected it. Do you all believe her? Should she get a point for getting that one correctly? She was very close. So it seems like it's possible that could have been a autocorrect. So I will let you all vote on that. You let me know if we should get her a point. All right, so let's go to the top here. And looks like Shaggy led the charge on this one. Let's see. So Shaggy is going to get the first 2 points for this day for him. Looks like Trey gets a point. I'm going to make sure that gets in. Usually I would do this while I was waiting for everybody to go, but I got all mixed up watching everybody do their thing. Mike O'Brien just joined us. Thank you, Mike O'Brien, for being a part. And you get your first point here. So that's how easy it is. You get a point right off the bat. First answer, first point. Basic input-output system for Danny. So Danny's going to get a point over on Twitch.
'Jenny is going to get a point.
Jenny is going to get a point. 'Jenny is going to get a point. 'Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Twitch. Jenny is going to get a point over on Let's see. Jenny here on my list. It's alphabetical, but you would think I'd be able to see it quickly, but for some reason I'm not. Melissa says basic input slash output system. It's technically basic input and output system, which nobody actually put. I think was interesting. So Melissa definitely gets a point also for that. I think that is only fair. And then basic input output system for Karen, also getting a point. And Robert got it. All right, Robert ended up getting it. I'm really glad to see you got that, Robert. I was worried. You got in towards the end there. I wasn't so sure. Trey says, I believe Emily, but I'm kind of biased. Oh, good. Yeah, style point for Trey on that. All right, so it looks like everybody's good with Emily also getting a point. I think it was super close. I believe her. I think we're all friends here. I've never seen it with an and. Okay, well, that's what I've got it there for, but I don't know. Interesting. Robert was doing dishes. Look at this. He was able to own that question while doing dishes. People, that is really impressive. I'm a meanie. I do not believe. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. There you go. It autocorrects things that are spelled right into other words and non-words. That should probably get looked at. I'm just saying, because that's going to make for some very confusing conversations on text. All right, let's move on to question number 7. Trey, you didn't tell me if you liked my transition or not. I didn't see that. Which two hopefuls participated in the first televised presidential debate? There we go. What? Shaggy says, sure it does. Sure it autocorrects. 60 seconds on the clock. Which two hopefuls, presidential hopefuls, obviously, participated in the first televised presidential debate? All right, so let's see what answers. Sounds for the transition is a bit like sandpaper on my eardrums. Oh, okay, so maybe we'll remove the sound. Okay, I can do that. I can possibly do that. I wish I could make it a little quieter. I don't know if I can do that, though. All right, so let's take a look. Danny's using her roommate. I don't know if that's cheating, people, using the roommate. I feel like there was no announcement that it was a team over there. But I'll allow it. If you can use roommates, as long as the roommate's not also looking it up. You should call tech support. Robert could tech support you. He might be able to do that. Some EQ on the high end. All right, time's up. We're going to the chat, everybody. Let's see how Facebook catches up. More talk than answers. Ike and someone I don't remember, says Trey. You will have to have both of the answers correct. You have to have both Ike and the person he's debating in order for that to count as a correct answer. Unfortunately, we won't be able to give it to you with just one person who's debating. All right, so Emily goes with a Karen. Time is up. Let's see. We had JFK and Nixon. We've got I Have No Reason to Lie. I already won a t-shirt. Well, I mean, you could still just want to ground people into the dirt and be better. So your shirt, by the way, is in the mail. Both you and Septic have shirts in the mail now officially. Although I haven't seen Septic in, it feels like, so far today at least. I think we saw him yesterday. So Emily threw Karen. So our first answer that we have to take care of is, did anyone get the answer correct? And the answer to that is yes. Someone did get the answer correct. And I think if you go through and look at it, since the only answers that were given were Ike and someone I don't remember, which we would not be able to accept, and JFK and Nixon, the answer is obviously JFK and Nixon. So 2 points to Danny's roommate. I put that on a different line and didn't give it to Danny. And then point to Melissa. Just kidding, Danny. You get that point. You get those points. Let's. I like that there's a back and forth between Shaggy and Emily. Sure. No, I'm. Of course you didn't. Uh, all right, so let's move on to question number 8. It is a quiet night tonight, and that's okay. You know what? We're having a very intimate time. Just a handful of us here, and that's okay sometimes. According to the Senate, that's not accurate. Oh, interesting. Trey, what was the correct answer? Should I just steal points from everybody? All right. Question number 8 is what author's novels are based for the futuristic movie, are the basis for the futuristic movies Total Recall and Minority Report? All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Can't believe this. The Senate. That's it. What did the Senate say was the first televised? So, what authors' novels are the basis for the futuristic movies Total Recall and Minority Report? 40 seconds left on the clock. We've got guesses from J.R.R. Tolkien, Tom Clancy, Philip Dick, who I believe is the person who also made Law and Order, Tom M. Riddle, the great author Tom M. Riddle. Not known for a lot of his futuristic books, but yeah, maybe so. Danny says she's throwing a Karen. We've got another Philip Dick, a Phil Dick, which sounds just like a joke. It feels like somebody's joking about this. Tom Clancy. All right, another Tom Clancy. All right, time's up. We're going to go over to the chat now. See if anybody was able to get this. We have to obviously wait for the chat in Facebook to catch up, or the stream in Facebook to catch up, I should say. Because we don't want to cheat anybody out of their points. They get the full 60 seconds, even though Facebook is a little behind on things. That's okay. All right, so time's up now now on Facebook, so let's make that happen. Yeah, so we've got a few different guesses. J.R.R. Tolkien, not really known for his futuristic movies, really. Tom Clancy, maybe. More action, I think, like more government-based. Philip K. Dick, Tom Riddle, style point for Tom Riddle. Why not? I don't even care at this point. Melissa says Dick something, which I don't think is enough to be an author. That could be so many things. It could be a date. It could be a manager who's a Dick something. Another Tom Clancy. So the two leading ones are Philip Dick and Tom Clancy. One Karen on the board, and that is from Danny. Danny believes that none of you are going to get this. And so we have to ask, did anyone get it correct? And the answer is yes. In fact, one of those answers is correct, either Tom Clancy or Philip Dick. And the correct answer is Philip Dick. That's right. Melissa, you would have gotten a point if you could just have remembered the first name. Just Philip Dick. Philip K. Dick. You went with Tom Clancy because every time I see Tom Cruise, I assume it's a Clancy book for some reason, says Emily. That's, all right, that's fair. He has done quite a bit of, Clancy stuff, right? I feel like that might be the case. So the debate thing, they say, in fact, the first televised debate occurred 4 years earlier when the Democratic candidate, Ollie Stevenson, and challenged incumbent Republican Dwight D. Eisenhower. Interesting. All right. Catch was neither appeared in it. They had two women as surrogates for the debate. Okay. Interesting. So there was a debate on their behalf, but they didn't participate in it. So that was the first televised debate, but not the first two hopefuls that participated in a televised debate. So there we go. So that seems still correct. No Clancy stuff for Cruise? Really? He had no Clancy stuff? I'm surprised by that. What was the whole Reacher? Like, is that Tom Clancy or is that somebody else? All right. Instead, on November 4th, 1956, two surrogates debated the issues on network television. For the Democrats, former lady and first party icon Eleanor Roosevelt. For the Republicans, the senior senator from Maine, Margaret Chase Smith. That's right, the first televised presidential debate featured two women. That is very interesting. Jack Reacher isn't Clancy. Okay, it's one of those like Clancy-like people, right? There's like 3 different people that write books that just are the same to me, that all feel like they're just the same person. And I don't remember all their names, but if you put them in front of me and you change the names on them, I'd be like, I wouldn't catch that it was wrong, probably. But all right, let's move on to question. Let's see, what question are we on now? Question number 9. So question number 9 is the penultimate question. You thought I was going to forget it, and I didn't. We're on the penultimate question. Shaggy says we're all the same person. Oh, interesting. That is very esoteric of you. Here we go. Number 9. Who is actress Blythe Danner's famous actress daughter? All right, so there is an actress who is quite famous, and her parent is Blythe Danner. That's the other way of saying that. So, who is actress Blythe Danner's famous actress daughter? So, Blythe Danner had a daughter. That daughter is an actress. 60 seconds on the clock. I need full name, please, of the actress. Let's see. It goes with Gwyneth Paltrow. Notice that Paltrow is not the same last name as Danner, though. Just something to keep in mind, right? Blythe Danner. Just saying. Gwyneth Paltrow. They don't even seem related, if we're being honest. Bette Midler. That's also not Danner. I'm just gonna say that's also does not have the last name Danner. So I don't know what to tell you. 25 seconds left. Let's see what ends up coming in. It looks like people are centering around this Gwyneth Paltrow thing. I will say that my roommate bowed out after one question. Oh, really? Why is that? Just, were we too difficult for them? Melissa is also advertising products at this point. Kim Cattrall. Kim Cattrall, also not the last name Danner. I just feel like everybody's missing that fact. All right, we're going to the chat because time is up. Christina says Karen is throwing a Karen. Her granddaughter is named Goop. All right, let's see what happened over on Facebook. Mainly Gwyneth Paltrow's is what I'm seeing. There's a Kim Cattrall, there's a Karen, and there's a Bette Midler. What I will say is we have to start off with our Karen. Somebody did get it correct, unfortunately. So negative point for Christina on the Karen. And then we'll go down. Let's see. We have Bette Midler. Unfortunately, Bette Midler is not correct. Kim Cattrall is unfortunately not correct, which leaves Gwyneth Paltrow, the correct answer. That's right. They do not have the same. They do not have the exact same name, but they do have the same. But they have the same genes. Unfortunately, as fortunate as that might be, because they are related. It looks like our chat maybe has stalled over on Facebook. Is it? No. Okay, it's going good. Never mind. I lied. That's true. Granddaughter is Apple, not Goop. Just so you know. Yes, Goop is crazy company. Also, the things that she says, like in Goop, I feel like she makes really crazy claims, right? I feel like I read something about this, that she was like making weird things where it was like, if you take this stuff and eat it or rub it on your face, it'll like cure things. And it was getting a little crazy. So let's get the points down, because I was not doing that. First one that says Gwyneth Paltrow looks like it is Karen, according to my screen here. So 2 points to Karen. Trey is going to get a point. 3 points to Trey. Total, I should say. 1 point to Trey. Danny gets a point. So let's make sure we get the point to Danny. Emily is going to get a point. Emily fighting back to try to get the lead back. Let's see. Melissa gets a point. Melissa also correct. So 5 points total for her. And that's it. That's it. Emily said he named her kid Goop. No, she didn't. She didn't. Father was Bruce Paltrow. So that's what it is her mother didn't take the father's name. Because that happens a lot. Rose quartz vagina eggs. There you go. That might be it. That is fun. Yeah, so that was supposed to be really good for your health or something. You put quartz inside of you. And that doesn't seem good. I'm not a doctor, but I feel like that isn't great. Let's get to the last question of Jenny says, what the fuck, vagina eggs? Yeah, go look it up. It's pretty awesome. It's among the crazy things I've ever seen. All right, so let's go to question number 10. Last question of the night for our regular stuff. What two cities does the Iditarod Great Sled Race go between? So this is a sled dog race, right? And so which two cities does it go between? 60 seconds on the clock. This is the last chance to get points for the 10 questions, but don't forget we're also going to be getting a Wager Wednesday today. So there's an 11th question that you can answer, and you'll be able to wager as many points as you have earned for the entire week. So keep that in mind. That's something that'll come up right after we get through this last question. Paul has thrown a Karen. He comes in late, throws a Karen on the last question, and we'll see how that turns out for him. I also missed the fact, hey, since you're here, Paul, how'd you like the transition? Did you get to see that? Did you see the cool transition for the questions? I think that's kind of neat. Ball, says Robert. Nobody's going to give up on the balls. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Time's up. Let's go to the chat and see what people are answering. It looks like the go-ahead one, the one that is very, very popular right now, is Nome and Anchorage. Nome and Anchorage. So I know it's in Alaska. It is an Alaskan sled dog race, the Iditarod. So that's definitely true. Melissa says, my uncle goes to the Iditarod every year. Every year to the Iditarod. So time is up. Gnome just tried to autocorrect to bike. Like, how's that even related? Oh, yeah, that's not good. Bike and Anchorage. The transition is fantastic. Thank you, Paul. I didn't see Trey saying it was fantastic. Trey, did you ever tell me if you like the transition? I've heard that Shaggy doesn't like the sound that goes along the transition, but I suppose we can solve that at some point. All right, so let's see. I think those are all of the answers that we've gotten. The one that went out ahead of everybody else was Nome and Anchorage. I didn't see any others. No other combinations. A lot of silliness. Robert, I'll give you a style point for balls just because it seems to be the theme of tonight. So yeah, that's about it. The correct answer, as many of you have realized, is Nome and Anchorage. I wasn't sure if I should take points off if you got it in the wrong order, right? I think it goes Nome to Anchorage, and so the people who said Anchorage to Nome, technically not correct, but it didn't say what two cities in order did it go between. But I feel like you would say it, like you would say, right? No, it's the other way around. It's Anchorage to Nome. I thought it ended in the big city for some reason. All right, well, maybe I'm wrong on that. So then the people who said Nome to Anchorage would be wrong. One of the others. All right. So let's go. Anchorage is the port in which the medicine is dropped off and is delivered to Nome. Ah, okay, that makes sense because it has a history. Okay. All right, so let's go over what people's points are. Hopefully you were following along at home because I'm all alone today, and so I'm balancing a lot of different things. So let's go from the bottom to the top. Christina has 0 points. Jenny got rid of her, or sorry, Christina has -1 point. Jenny has 0 points. She got rid of her negative point. Paul has a negative point. I realize I have to put that down. -1 point for Paul. Probably doesn't matter in the grand scope of things, but I should probably make sure that that's happening. All right, so what did I say? Oh, Rob and Mike O'Brien both have 1 point. Shaggy's got 2 points. Trey has 5 points. Emily has 6 points, along with Melissa with 6 points. Danny has 7 points. And out ahead of everybody with 9 points, Karen, the inventor of the Karen, has 9 points. So let's wrap this up and find out how many points everybody can actually bet, because that's the question in everybody's mind, I feel like. So the way that this works for our Wager Wednesday is that you can gamble as many points as you have earned all week. So that's including today, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Unfortunately, Paul, I have negative points for the entire week, which is really impressive. So you won't be able to participate, but other folks can. So let's go over what people have for their points. We're gonna go alphabetical, I think. No, let's just do it this way for today. So Christina, unfortunately, you've got 0 points. So you're going to sit out this one. Jenny's got 4 points. All right. Rob's got 2 points. Mike has 1 point for the week. As we're saying this, yeah, you can definitely put what you want to wager. Although, hold on. Before we do this, to make things fair, I'm going to put the category up. So this could be a change, all right? If you guys feel like you may want to do this. So, oh, we should have done the sharing. Oh yeah, you know what? Robert's correct. So let me do the shares first. You're absolutely right, Robert. I apologize. Let's go and make sure that we have everybody's shares accounted for. So I've got Shaggy with a share. So 3 points. At this point, let me see if Shaggy has any other shares. Just the one. I shared. Jenny shared. So Jenny's got actually 1 point for the day. Emily shared. So Emily's up to 7 points. And Robert shared. So he's got a 2nd point today. So sorry about that. That's the shares that I am seeing. If I'm totally off on that, let me know. While we're doing this, by the way, I'm gonna go over to the category, and let everybody redo their bets when you see the category, and then I'll go down and you can make your bets as we go. Also, while we're doing this, go up to if you're on Facebook, just hit the like button up at the top there. That'll make us very happy. That way, more people are seeing it. You can like, or you can love, or you can laugh, or any of those things. But up at the top there. Of the chat, do that. That would be really great. All right, so let's do this one more time. Category. I thought this might be fun. So everybody, I have been asking now for weeks, for months, to go check out my podcast, right? Another Wasted Hour. So there's like 140 episodes on it. They're all free. You can get it from any podcast location, any at all, right? And so it's hilarious. It's free. Go check it out, right? My question is going to be a fact about Another Wasted Hour, the podcast. That is the category. Okay. All right. So let's go down the list again. Jenny has 5 points. Rob has 3 points. Mike O'Brien has 1 point. Shaggy has 6 points. Trey has 16 points. Emily has 18 points. Melissa has 18 points. Danny has 24 points. And Karen has 13 points. So there we go. That is the category. What do people want to get? What do you want to wager on that category? I'm wiping out the previous wagers just because I didn't give you the category, and that's the fair. That's how we do Wager Wednesdays. So if you want to go all in, just say it one more time, and I will make sure that I record that. Melissa says 10 points. 10 points going in. All right, 10 points for... What is the category? Danny, we did this. The category. It's right up there. It's on the screen. Don't look at the right there. I can. It's look at that. That's the category. We all see that, right? Everyone sees that. It is Another Wasted Hour. It is trivia about Another Wasted Hour. Yes, we are doing trivia about my podcast, Another Wasted Hour. That it is a trivia about another. That's the category. Mm-hmm. All right. So Jenny says 1. We're doing 1 point. I feel like if you went and listened to the podcast, that you'd have a shot at this. And I've been telling people to do it, so I feel like it's fair. Trey's going with all in. All in. All right. And so that means you're going with 16. 16. Emily's going with 3. Going conservative. I like it. Mike's going in with 1. Mike O'Brien with his 1. I like. You're just pushing to the middle of the table. You're like, I've only got 1 point. Why not? So Mike, if you want to in the future, if you join us on Monday, we tally up points from the entire week. Whoever has the most points at the end of the entire week wins a t-shirt. And we'll ship it out to you. We'll wash it and make sure it doesn't have like cooties on it or stuff. But there's the t-shirt. You can win that. In any of the sizes that we have. All right. So Danny goes with 24. 24 points. Let's see. Not seeing anything from Karen. So I think Karen's staying out. That's what I'm seeing. Shaggy is also staying out of this one. Rob also not having a bet. So those are the ones I'm not seeing. So I don't see a bet from Rob, Shaggy, or Karen. Those are the people who could tune in when I can, but always so much going on. I know, right? It's good for when you're driving, and we're not driving so much anymore, right? Because we usually do it when we are commuting. And it's great for that. Now we're not commuting a lot of the time. So our shirt's purchasable. They aren't yet. I'm thinking about doing that, but I kind of want to make it like special for the people who win, for the time being. But we might make it like a merch shop. I'm having a bunch of people saying that they'd like some merch, and so let me get around to that and see if maybe we make a little merch shop with some hats and apparently some thongs. Some people would like thongs, and definitely a tank top. I've heard a tank top needs to be made, and then we can put the t-shirts on there as well. So let's see. Rob's taking the trash out. Jenny, did you want to bet any of Rob's points? I don't know. Are we allowed to do that? All right. I think time's up. I think this is the bets. Again, I didn't see Karen at all, so she's staying out of this one, I think. All right. Let's go to the question. And I'm going to give you 60 seconds on this one. I don't think this has the transition. But the last, I would totally run in another wasted hour. Oh, you'd run in it. Oh, okay, good. There you go. So yeah, we'll get you. Maybe we need to do tank tops. That seems like a popular thing. All right, here's the question, everybody. Last question of the night. When was the first episode of Another Wasted Hour released? The premiere episode. What was the date? What was the date that it was released? I've given hints even on this show, just in trivia, right? I've mentioned like how long it's been going on. There are some hints to how often it happens and how many there are. There's some ways that you could get there, but that's what we need. We just need to know when the first episode of Another Wasted Hour was released, the date that it was released. Let's get the 60 seconds. Y'all are thinking it through. You're giving me a month and a year. Well, we'll see. We'll see how people do on this. Maybe I'll accept months and years. That might be acceptable. The day might be a little hard. I'm gonna feel it out here. It's going on 3 years. All right. That's not really a guess. So you'd actually have to go. Mike says in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. May 2017. All right. That is a good guess, right? It does feel... I feel like I've said those things before, right? I've said that we've been doing it for about 3 years, right? Any others? 17. Oh, very, 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 very specific. Let's go to the chat. Time is up, so we're going to see if Facebook catches up here. And see if anyone is able to get the answer on this one. It's tough, but I feel, just for the record, that TJ comes in and just says, Karoo. That's it, just Karoo. That's the answer. I'm surprised because time is up and somehow TJ was able to guess it. I don't think he even saw the question. Amazing. 2,000 points to TJ. TJ, you are tonight's winner. That's a lie. You don't, not even close. It was not even close. I apologize. All right. Let's see. Did we get Melissa's? Melissa says January 2017. We've got September 2017. We've got February 2nd, 2017. These are all good guesses. Did anybody else wager that we didn't see? Trey just went with the Titanic theme. It's been 80 years. Has not been 80 years. I have clearly said on this show, I've been doing it for about 3 years. We've got like 140 episodes. We did miss some episodes in there, so that's a bit misleading in a way, and it's more than 140 episodes. So here's the thing. I'm going to be a little lenient with this and not make you actually have to do the actual day. So if you guess the day, I'm going to trim that off and I will give it to you if it is correct. But someone got it correct. Yeah. Someone actually got it correct. So nice. Like, hats off to that person. It is a difficult question, but like I said, every night I keep asking you to go listen. So I thought I would reward anyone who had actually paid attention to it. The answer is Monday, January 2nd, 2017. Melissa said January 2017. She wins 10 points, bringing her total up to 28 for the week. She is now in the lead for the entire week. So congratulations on that. Danny, you were 1 month off. You had the day correct. You had the day. You just had the month wrong. And so, yeah. Style point for Trey. You're going to give a style point to Trey for the Titanic theme. Let's give a style point to Mike O'Brien as well and Trey, both for getting great answers. And TJ, you get a point as well. Melissa says, I'm following you now. Thank you. So that is the end of the show. Everybody, let's finish up strong here. I actually have a cool transition at the end, so I'm suggesting that maybe you stick around for that as well. So let's do some business. You can get a point for being the first person into chat around 7 o'clock. We do this around 7 o'clock every single day. So you come back here. If you are the first person into the chat when we go live to say the word first, you get a point. The way you do that is by following or subscribing to the show and turning on the alerts, the notifications. It'll let you know when we go live. You smash that button when we go live, and you might be the first one in a chat and make it a free point just for that. And then, in addition to that, you get points for answering correctly. You get a point for answering correctly first. Those are obvious, right? You also get points for sharing the show on Facebook. So we had 4 or 5 people get points today for doing unique shares on Facebook. All you have to do is share it publicly to your profile. That helps us grow. If, for instance, you host it on Twitch, that's another way. So if you know how to host a show on Twitch, let us know that you're doing that. We'll give you a point as well. And you answer all the questions by just putting them in the comments, putting them in the chat. Easy enough, easy peasy to do that. Also, don't forget that we did our Wager Wednesday. Friday, we're going to do a free-for-all Friday where everybody can be on the show. All right? So join us 7 o'clock for that. And what else? So we've got Theme Thursday tomorrow. Stick around to find out what tomorrow's theme is. That'll be, we'll announce that tomorrow. You have to guess it, actually. Guess the theme. You get extra point for that. I have a podcast called Another Wasted Hour. We just did a question about it. It's been around since January 2nd, 2017. We've been doing it almost every single week. There is trivia on that show. Okay, there's comedy, there's like crazy internet news and stuff that we find. It's hilarious, and you'll be exposed to local area artists, musicians, and culture creators in the DC area, people you probably would have never have heard of before. So go check that out, subscribe to it, give it a review, give us some stars. We would really appreciate that. And yeah, I think that's about it. So everybody, until 7 o'clock tomorrow when we come back here, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, stay home. I know we're going to be opening up the states and everything like that. Be careful because a lot of these pandemics have a second wave. It's kind of a historical thing. So not saying not to go outside, just make sure you're doing your social distancing and making sure that when you can't social distance, you got your mask on. And let's see, what else? Oh, yeah, all the people who are helping the world go round, delivery folks, healthcare workers, all of our essential workers that are making it possible for us to work from home or stay home and have food and all of those types of things. We really appreciate it. I know it's a huge sacrifice. You're putting yourself out there so that we are able to be safe. That means a lot to us. We understand that it's a big burden for you. And so thank you. Thank you. So I think that is it. Our winner, I forgot to do it. Our winner for today was Karen. I wasn't hearing from Karen. Karen, you'll have to let us know what you want what color you want the show to be tomorrow. And we'll make it whatever color you want. If you win the night, you get to choose the color of the studio. If you win the week, you get a t-shirt. All right, so until tomorrow at 7 o'clock, everybody have a good night.